Hello everyone, I'm Alicia, Chinese teacher at Confucius Institute, the University of Porto. In the first 2 weeks, Lucia has introduced Chinese expression, for example, 你好, 谢谢, 再见, and Chinese food. Today I will introduce Chinese geography. Today's course has 3 parts. The first part is China's geography overview. The second part is China's top geographical wonders. And the third part is the top 5 best China places to travel. In the first part, we will learn about China's location, territory, topography, and climate. As we know, China is located in the East Asia on the west shores of Pacific Ocean. And the straight line distance between China and Portugal is about 9,161 kilometers. There are direct flights between Beijing, the capital of China, and Lisbon. It takes about 30 hours. China has a continental land boundary of more than 20,000 kilometers and has a lot of neighboring countries. For example, North Korea in the east, Russia and Mongolia in the north, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, and Pakistan in the west, India and Nepal in the southwest, Bhutan and Laos in the south. Besides the land boundaries, China's coastline covers a total length of over 18,000 kilometers. In the picture, we can see that China is flanked by the Bohai Sea, the Yellow Sea, the East China Sea, and the South China Sea. China is a vast land, covering about 9.6 million square kilometers. It is the world's third largest country by the area. There are 4 points on the map to indicate China's territory. The north point is located at the center of Heilongjiang River, north of the town of Mohe. The south point is located at the Zengmu Reef at the Nansha Island. From north to south, China stretches for about 50 degrees in latitude and about 5,500 kilometers in distance. Because of this, the climate in north and south varies greatly. Taking today as an example, people in the south wear dress, while people in the north are wearing down jackets. The west point is located at the Pamirs Plateau, and the east point is located at the confluence of the Heilongjiang and the Usulijiang River. From the east to the west, China spans for about 60 degrees in longitude, over 5,000 kilometers in distance. According to international time zones, China spans 5 time zones, but our country adopts a place with a longitude of 120 degrees east. That is the national standard time. So everyone uses the same time, no matter where you live. About China's administrative divisions, there are 23 provinces. For direct controlled municipalities, and the 5 autonomous regions, and the 2 special administrative regions, Hong Kong and Macau. China's topography is very diversified. The dominant features vary from the lowest vast plains and the chains of undulating hills to the mountainous regions with towering peaks, plateaus, and bowl-shaped basins. Topographical, China is descending in elevation from the west to the east and divided into 3 sections. From the picture, we can see that the right part is the highest section, the Qinghai Tibet Plateau, with an average altitude of around 3,000 to 5,000 meters. To the east is the second section, with plateaus and basins ranging from 1,000 to 2,000 meters. The third section consists of plains and mild hills. China has the most diverse and breathtaking geography in the world. It has the highest altitude and temperature differences of any country. Numerous lakes, melting rivers, huge deserts, and a vast grassland. Over 66 of China upland hill, mountains, and plateaus, where the highest mountains and plateaus are found to the west. Plains and basins are distributed in the western China. They only accounted for 33%. When we talk about the Chinese geography, we have to mention the most 2 important rivers in China is Changjiang and Huanghe. Changjiang, more commonly known in the West as the Yangtze River. It is the longest river in China and the 3rd longest river in the world, with 6,300 kilometers. It originates from the Tanggulan Mountain on the Qinghai Tibet Plateau and flows to the East China Sea. The upper reaches of Yangtze River feature big vertical drops with torrents and many gorges flanked by the towering mountains, such as Tiger Leaping Gorge, 3 Gorges, and so on. The middle reaches are characterized with many rugged streams, branches, and lakes. The lower reaches are known as fertile land of fish and rice. Most freshwater lakes of China are scattered over the middle and the lower reaches of the Yangtze River. The Yangtze River is China's lifeline. The river flows through 10 provinces with over 700 tributaries, covers an area of 1.8 million kilometers, which is 19% of total land area of China. The river flows through the major industrialized area in China and forms the most densely populated delta. The river also hosts the world's biggest hydroelectric station and dam, the 3 Gorges Dam. The second most important river is Huanghe. As the most heavily sailed laden river in the world, the Yellow River got its name from the mildness of its water. Huanghe is the second longest river in China. Originated in the nation's far west, it loops north and bends south and flows east for 5,400 kilometers until it empties into the sea, drawing a base of 745,000 kilometers. Its nourishing about 120 million people. Thousands of years ago, Chinese civilization emerged from the central region of this basin. The Yellow River has more cultural significance than Yangtze River, and it is seen as China's mother river and the cradle of China's civilization. Prehistoric Chinese lived at the Peking mine site, located just north of Yellow River Basin at Zhoukoudian in the south of Beijing. There is a very famous waterfall on the Yellow River, named Hukou Waterfall. It has a height of over 20 meters. When the Yellow River approaches the Hukou Mountain, blocked by the mountains on both sides, the width rapidly narrowed down to 30 meters. The water's velocity increased and then punched over a narrow opening on a cliff, forming a waterfall 15 meters high and 30 meters wide, as if the water were pouring down from a huge teapot. Hence, it gets the name Hukou Waterfall. Now we can see a movie to learn about the Yellow River.
The Yellow River, Huanghe, is 5,464 kilometers long, ranking 5th in the world. Originated.
Okay, let's move on to China's climate. Like its diversified topography, China's climate is diversified as well. From the south to the north, China can be divided into 4 climatic zones, namely the tropic, subtropic, temperate, and the frigid climatic zones. Most of China lies in the north temperate zones, characterized by a warm climate and distinctive seasons. A climate well suited for the habitation. Most part of China is subject to the strong monsoon climate, which are cold and dry in the winter, very hot, rainy in the summer. The precipitation is unevenly distributed across the country, decreasing from the southeast coast to the northwest inland. If you have been traveled to China, you will find the climate in the north and the south it varies greatly because there is a huge mountain in the middle of China named Qinling Mountains. The Qinling Mountains spans over 1,500 kilometers long, with Mountain Taibai as the highest peak. The Qinling Mountains stand like a huge wall, blocking the wind in the hinterland of China, and serve as a natural dividing line between the south and the north of China. With the Qinling as the boundary, the climate in the north and the south of China varies greatly. For example, in the northeast, the winter is long, freezing, and snowing. Harbin, located in the east-north, also called Ice City, freezes for 4 months a year. The average low in January in Harbin is below 25 degrees. However, in Xishuangbanna, bordering Laos, has tropical rainforest, minority peoples, and elephants. Hainan is a tropical island as big as a small country with rainforest, volcanic hot springs, and tropical beaches. The area covered gives China to the biggest range of temperature of any nation on the earth, below 40 degrees, above 40 degrees. But in Harbin, it is a special attraction for tourists interested in beautiful snow sceneries and snow activities. A tourist highlight is the Harbin International Ice and Snow Festival, the big ice festival in the world, which attracts 10 to 15 million visitors every year. Now we can see it.
Like the Kazakhs. They're creating their own history to pass on. Renowned as the ice city of China, it can reach -38 degrees Fahrenheit in winter. Nearly 10,000 workers have been dragging and cutting giant blocks of ice for the most
Now we move to the second part, China's top geographical wonders. In this part, we will learn about South China Coast, Danxia landform, Zhangjiajie landform, and the Great Wall. The huge coast area of South China is about 550,000 kilometers in extent. The karst terrain displays a geographic transition as the terrain gradually distances about 2,000 meters over 700 kilometers from the western plateau to the eastern basin. The region is recognized as the world's top area of karst landform development in the humid tropics and the subtropics. The South China Coast World Heritage Property protects a diversity of spectacular and iconic continental karst landscapes, including Tower Karst, Pinnacle Karst, and Corner Karst. Jiuzhaigou is a typical karst landform in China. Jiuzhaigou got its name from the 9 Tibetan villages in the Snake area. Jiuzhaigou's landscape is made up the high altitude karst shaped by glacial, hydrological, and tectonic activities. Hidden deep in the mountains of western China's Sichuan province, there is a primitive and dreamy valley called Jiuzhaigou. It has preserved one of the most stunning ways of nature, that is, could be called China's Garden of Eden. Its signature landscape is the crystal lakes with turquoise and many other colors of white, blue, green, or purple. The secret of coloring the lake is the many kinds of faunas that grow in the water, which helps the create various colors. These colors vary according to the season, light, and viewing angle. There are 108 lakes like this dotted around the 3 major valleys in Jiuzhaigou. Each of these valleys has an altitude higher than 2,000 meters, and altogether the valleys are 49 kilometers long. Besides these magical lakes, Jiuzhaigou also has China's widest waterfall, Morenao Waterfall. If you visit Jiuzhaigou during the right time, you may even experience the rotation of 4 seasons in one day. From the colorful season to the white appearance, Jiuzhaigou could do it in a very short time. It is perhaps ultimate fairyland in China. The second landform is Danxia landform. China Danxia is named given in China landscapes development on the continental right heterogeneous sedimentary beds. It is characterized by spectacular red cliffs and a range of regional landforms, including dramatic natural pillars, towers, ravines, valleys, and waterfalls. The process of its development is characterized by particular rock queens, tectonic background, climate conditions, erosional process, and landforms. In northwestern China, there is a chain of undulating hills called colorful Zhangye Danxia. Here you can find the colors of the rainbow. The terrain is so hostile that even grass struggle to survive. So where did the plateau of colors come from? It's hard to imagine, but this area was once a lake. The multicolored hills is the result of a long geological evolution of the lake bed. Changes in the temperature and the altitude, as well as the existence of various mineral elements, and the differing iron contents in the lake, sediments especially, give rise to the spectacle of the color. Part of ancient Silk Road, it is said that Marco Polo once visited here over 700 years ago. However, compared with Polo, today we can have much fun. We can see a video to learn about Danxia, Zhangye. The third landform is 张家界. 张家界 landform, a unique type of sandstone landform, is such a tectonic setting that lies in South China Plate. 张家界 landform was original from the middle and upper diversional series quarters sandstone, which occurrence is nearly horizontal and is formed agent like water erosion, gravity collapse, and varying. 张家界 landform is mainly represented by stone pillow forest and the straight edges and the droplet embankment gorges, big walls, natural bridges, mesas, and tablelines. Of course, sandstone is most typical around the world, named 张家界 landform. Located in 张家界, Bailong Elevator is the highest, farthest, full explored outdoor double-decker sea elevator with the largest capacity in the world. Bailong elevator goes up and down very fast, and a speed of 3 meters per second, which can finish a height of 326 meters within 1 minute and 58 seconds. Imagine that, how it feels to take this elevator. One of the fine things to do in Zhangjiajie is experience the second longest and highest glass bridge in the world. The bridge is located in the Grand Canyon with a length of 430 meters and height of 300 meters. The bridge hangs over the valley, and you can have an unforgettable experience to walk on it and enjoy the natural landscape in such a transparent high place. If you love some extremely sports, maybe you would like to challenge more heart-pounding activities, such as the highest bungee jumping in the world.
A natural formation shaped by the area's unusual geology.
And the last geographical wonders is the Great Wall. One great structure that didn't rise naturally from the earth is China's the Great Wall. The longest man-made structures on Earth runs from the Pacific Ocean to the Gobi Desert. Laid out its individual sections stretch for 16,000 miles, longer than the length of North and South America combined. In 221 BC, the first emperor of China decided to stop the constant conflict by uniting the country against the foreign invaders, who ordered existing and scattered fortifications to be connected into one great wall. The Great Wall has not much practical use in modern age, but in ancient times it served as defense forest during the wartime. In the Han Dynasty, the emperor extended the Great Wall far into today's Western China to protect the Silk Road trade. Today, the whole steel distance on the wall 10 million every year. As a local saying goes, 不到长城非好汉. It means he who has never been to the Great Wall is not a true man. It's very famous. The third part, we will learn about the top 5 best Chinese places to travel. The first one is Beijing. Second one is Xi'an. The third one is Shanghai. The fourth one is Guilin. And the number 5 is Tibet. Beijing, the massive capital city of China for centuries, offers you much to discover and explore. You can visit the Forbidden City to witness the history of multi-imperial ancient China, hang the incredible Great Wall to get a lifetime memory, or wander along the traditional hotels to experience authentic local life. Xi'an, the capital of 13 ancient China dynasties, it undisputed the perfect representation of Chinese dynasty history and culture. There used to be a total of 63 emperors ruled here. Massive, brilliant historical ruins, museums, and cultural relics has been found both under and on the ground of Xi'an. In ancient times, Xi'an was a terminus of the Silk Road and played a melting pot of cultures and religions, both the Western and the Eastern world. Shanghai, regarded as the Oriental Paris, is the best place to see East meets West culture. Walking in the traditional Chinese garden, Yuyuan Garden, wandering along the charming exhibition of international architecture at the Bund, you will find a splendid combination of East and West, as well as the tradition and the model. Number 4 is Guilin. Guilin in South China is absolutely your satisfying getaway to have a great fun with the most beautiful nature. Will let you embrace the top skillful masterpieces by nature within its sightseeing wonderland. The fine place boasts the super leisure cruise along the real Chinese ink painting gallery of 100-mile lonely river. Lovely rural Yangshuo handle dotted by Ganges coastal hills, and unbelievable man-made agriculture rice terrains landscapes in the ethnic Longshan changed various fancy grapes around the year. Not only its fantastic hills, waters, countrysides, rafting, hiking, cycling, photograph, and other fun and adventure all wait you to explore. Guilin never fails to be the drawing of its visitors. The last one is Tibet. Tibet, the roof of world, has a magical attractive force for travelers for hundreds of years. Many people take a Tibet trip as a must journey that must be taken at least once in a lifetime. A plateau landscape and overwhelming devoted region, and welcoming and friendly Tibetan people, and long-standing customs and tradition. Once stepping on the land of Tibet, you will have entered one of the most isolated places in the world. At the last, I want to recommend the most beautiful village in China, Wuyuan.
Most beautiful season every year is in the middle and last 10 days of March. Ouyuan, located in the northeast of Jiangxi province in southeast China, is a county surrounded by mountains. When spring comes, oilseed rape flowers in Ouyuan come into full bloom. These crops, from which oil is extracted, persist whole winter. Crops are sown in the autumn this year and harvested in the summer of the following year. Jiangxi province is a big producer of oilseed rape flowers in China. The most beautiful oilseed rape flowers are in the Jiangling and Hualien areas of Ouyuan. Here, there are layers of golden terraces planted with oilseed rape flowers, which complement the residential buildings with their typical white walls and black tiles, forming a beautiful natural picture. They're said to be one of the 10 most beautiful terraces in the world. The terraces in China are short and narrow. The longest can be tens of meters long, while the short ones are usually 5 meters. Wide terraces are sometimes 10 meters broad, narrow ones are 2 narrow and 2 wide. Large terraces are bigger than basketball courts. Small ones are not enough for an adult to lie down. The terraces are as high as the mountains of Jiangling. Standing by the side of the road,
That's all. There are some documentary related to today's hours. If you have the interest, you can find it on the YouTube. 谢谢，拜，再见。